the flag was a thing that was a kind of a hit and miss, really. Rosenthal was the person that took this picture, and he actually didn't know he was taking it at first. And when he got ready to send his canteen or canisters back to the ship, well, they wanted him immediately to come off that island and explain that picture, because it became Marine Corps' #1 picture and the only one of World War II, or even any war since then. It's probably the most looked at. There's even was a stamp made of the raising of that flag on Suribachi. So it was a big event, and Rosenthal, I think, passed away this past year. So he was one of the first, he was a AP photographer. He wasn't a Marine Corps photographer. There were Marine Corps photographers there, but they didn't take this particular type picture. They did take one. They raised 2 flags. The first flag was a small flag, and one of the commanders on the ship had enough elevation and the ranking of the Marine Corps that he ordered that first flag to be taken down, and he sent this other flag up to the top to be placed in its place. So that's kind of the history of the flag of Iwo Jima. There's one other picture that I have. I don't have it with me. That is, I have the actual picture of the boy when he made that dash across Okinawa, and he's running for his life, dear life, across this open area, and it was on Okinawa, and there he's by himself, getting across there because he was faced as on the left part, almost on his left side, was all bunkers and things. Well, he was being shot at, so he was moving along, and I have his picture, and it's in another book that I have of that boy there on. He wasn't from Pike County. I have a lot of pictures of boys that were not really from Pike County, but they were too important to leave out, so I put them in with it.
Okay, now Ken has just described a lot about Iwo Jima, and Iwo Jima, I think we lost 24 to 25,000 American lives at Iwo Jima, and as Ken said, one of the bloodiest of all battles. The United States thought we were going to take that in a very short order, and it just became more and more difficult. It also showed the United States how difficult the Japanese adversaries were. It showed them at that time that this was not going to be an easy Westpac war. We just completed D-Day, and now we were focusing on the west part of the war. And this was the first eye-opening of how tough the Japanese were in Iwo Jima. They also showed the same resilience in Okinawa. That was really on what Ken was mentioning. It was on Easter Sunday, April 1st of 1945. We also thought that was going to be an easy invasion. It was also a very difficult invasion. About over 25,000 lives lost in Okinawa. I don't know the exact number in Okinawa. When the next invasion, the biggest planned invasions of the war, Okinawa was actually as big as D-Day, as many invaders there as on D-Day, even though D-Day gets a lot more press. The next big invasion was Japan itself, and there was going to be 1 million people that invaded Japan, and it was on the books to invade Japan. And we brought 2 bombs over, and we only had 2 bombs. We had none others. We didn't have any. Everybody thought we had more. One was dropped on August 6th and one on August 9th. And the Japanese finally said, we will give up. and it was a close vote. Somebody finally talked the emperor into calling the unconditional surrender. But if we would have had to invade mainland Japan, as Ken witnessed, and Ken may not be here today, if we'd had to invade mainland Japan, my father would not have been here during his life. He invaded Okinawa on Easter Sunday of 45. Ken probably would have invaded mainland Japan. He probably wouldn't be with us today. There would have been heavy losses because the Japanese were a tremendous fighting population. They fought to the death. And with that type of population, we had a very difficult time. So the atom bomb, even though there's lots of debate of should we have dropped it or not, we've probably saved Truman probably saved many American lives by dropping the bomb. Japanese didn't know we didn't have any others. We didn't have any others. There wouldn't have been any made in creation till probably completed till early in 46. So it would have been 6 months before we had another bomb. Anyway, we've talked with Donna and Ken this afternoon, this morning, about a lot of World War II history, but mostly about his documented World War II history. This is an article written on Ken by a gentleman that is now one of our leaders in our city. Rick Davis wrote an excellent article on Ken and how difficult it was how difficult his project was of documenting the lives of greater than 1,900 World War II soldiers, sailors, Marines, Coast Guard, Merchant Marines. This is just a fabulous thing that Ken and Donna have done, and this has been donated to 2 different libraries, and we're going to try to put this on the internet. The library at St. Peter at Petersburg and one other place. Ken, where's that other library that you donated to?
It will be Winslow.
Winslow and Petersburg. All these books have been donated, and we're trying to scan these and make them part of history, so everybody everywhere would have a chance to look at that free of charge. Thanks to Donna and Ken, and we're going to try to put this film on the internet so that people understand more about the person that created this, understands the evolution of him and his Marine Corps heritage. The United States is very fortunate to have the finest generation, and Ken and Donna are part of our finest generation, and I've been so pleased to know him and Donna for the last 8 or so years.
This since we didn't have another atomic bomb that they didn't know we didn't have, they thought probably we may have had another one or so, and the emperor really was a person individually from the other population of the Japanese people, and eventually they convinced him enough that it would be too expensive for them, life-wise and everything, to take another hit or two with an atomic bomb. Well, had we gone ahead, my plans would have been with the 5th Division, and we would have landed at Nagasaki. That's where we would have gone in, and that's where they dropped the second bomb, was at Nagasaki. And that was already in place for us to land there.